How to master emotional intelligence and social skills. Introduction. Unlocking the power within. Have you ever wished you could walk into a room and instantly connect with people? Or stay calm and clear-headed during stressful conversations? Or, maybe, just maybe, understand what someone is truly feeling, without them saying a single word? If so, you're not alone. In a world driven by information, logic, and speed, it's easy to forget that the most powerful forces we deal with every single day aren't external, they're emotional. Your feelings, and the feelings of those around you, shape your decisions, your relationships, and even your sense of happiness. And yet, emotional intelligence and social skills are rarely taught in schools, often underestimated in workplaces, and misunderstood in everyday life. That ends now. Welcome to How to Master Emotional Intelligence and Social Skills, a complete guide designed not just to inform, but to transform the way you understand yourself and others. Whether you're a student, a professional, a parent, a leader, or simply someone striving to become the best version of yourself, this book is your toolkit for thriving in the real world. Let's be clear, this isn't just about being nice or understanding. Emotional intelligence is a powerful skill set that influences how you manage your behavior, navigate complex social environments, and make decisions that achieve positive results. And when paired with solid social skills like active listening, assertive communication, and empathy, it becomes an unstoppable combination. Here's what you can expect from this book. You'll discover the 5 pillars of emotional intelligence and learn how to strengthen each one with practical, daily techniques. You'll explore real-life scenarios that demonstrate how emotionally intelligent people handle conflict, inspire others, and stay grounded under pressure. You'll learn to read people like a book through tone, body language, and emotional cues, so you can connect more authentically. And you'll build the confidence to communicate with clarity, resolve tension peacefully, and leave a lasting impression wherever you go. But most importantly, this isn't just theory, it's actionable. Every chapter includes tools, insights, and exercises that you can start using right away. No fluff, no jargon, just real-world strategies for real-world challenges. By the time you finish this audiobook, you'll not only understand what emotional intelligence and social skills are, you'll live them. You'll think before you react. You'll speak with empathy and influence. You'll listen in a way that makes others feel truly heard. And you'll walk into any room, any conversation, and any relationship with the calm confidence of someone who gets it. So take a deep breath. You've already taken the most important first step, the decision to grow. Now, let's unlock the power within you. Chapter 1. The Foundations of Emotional Intelligence. Before we dive into how to master emotional intelligence, let's take a moment to understand what it really means. You've probably heard the term EQ tossed around in articles, podcasts, or leadership books. It stands for emotional quotient, often called emotional intelligence. But this isn't just another buzzword. Emotional intelligence is one of the most essential, underrated skills you can develop in your life. And here's the good news. Unlike your IQ, which is mostly fixed, emotional intelligence can be learned, strengthened, and mastered, no matter your age or background. So what exactly is emotional intelligence? At its core, emotional intelligence is your ability to recognize, understand, manage, and influence emotions, both your own and those of others. It's the difference between reacting and responding, between being aware or being on autopilot, between building bridges or burning them. The idea was popularized by psychologist Daniel Goleman, who broke emotional intelligence down into 5 main components. These 5 pillars form the foundation we'll build on throughout this book. Let's explore each one. Self-awareness, the power of knowing yourself. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of emotional intelligence. It means being in tune with your own thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in real time. When you're self-aware, you don't just feel an emotion. You recognize it, name it, and understand why it's there. Instead of saying, "I'm just in a Bad mood, a self-aware person might say. I'm feeling irritated because I skipped lunch and I'm under pressure at work. See the difference? One is vague and reactive. The other is clear and reflective. Self-awareness allows you to take control of your emotional state rather than be controlled by it. Self-regulation. Staying calm in the storm emotions are natural, but how we respond to them. That's where self-regulation comes in. Self-regulation is your ability to manage your emotional impulses. It's what helps you pause before snapping at someone. It's what keeps you steady during a heated conversation. It's the skill that allows you to choose a thoughtful response over a regrettable reaction. People with strong self-regulation don't suppress emotions. They channel them. They learn how to sit with discomfort, reframe negative thoughts, and take mindful action even when their emotions are running high. Motivation. The fire. Within motivation, emotional intelligence isn't about external rewards, it's about intrinsic drive. It's that internal compass that pushes you to pursue goals, overcome obstacles, and stay hopeful even when things get tough. Highly motivated people are resilient. They bounce back from failure. They see challenges as opportunities. And most importantly, they're fueled by purpose, not just applause. When you master emotional intelligence, you're not just reacting to life, you're actively shaping it. Empathy. Feeling with others, empathy is the heart of emotional intelligence. It's your ability to understand what someone else is feeling, not from your perspective, but from theirs. Empathy isn't about fixing people's problems or agreeing with everything they say. It's about showing up with presence, curiosity, and compassion. When you're empathetic, people feel seen and heard. This skill is what allows leaders to inspire, friends to support, and partners to connect on a deeper level. Without empathy, social interaction becomes mechanical. With it, it becomes meaningful. Social skills, the art of connection. Social skills are the final pillar and the one that pulls everything together. This isn't about being outgoing or charming. It's about navigating relationships with confidence, authenticity, and care. It's about knowing how to listen actively, communicate clearly, resolve conflict peacefully, and build lasting trust. Whether you're leading a team, making small talk at an event, or comforting a friend, strong social skills are what help you connect, influence, and grow. EQ versus IQ. What matters more? For decades, intelligence was measured by IQ, your ability to reason, remember, and solve problems. And, while IQ is still important, research shows that emotional intelligence plays a bigger role in long-term success. Think about it. You can be brilliant on paper, but if you can't handle criticism, work with others, or manage stress, you're at a disadvantage. In fact, studies have found that people with high EQs tend to earn more money, have better relationships, handle stress more effectively, lead more successful teams, and report higher levels of happiness. The takeaway: EQ is no longer optional, it's essential. The emotional intelligence advantage. Let's paint a quick picture. Imagine you're in a meeting, tension is high. Someone challenges your idea. Your heart races. You feel the sting of defensiveness rising. Now pause. If you lack emotional intelligence, you might interrupt, get defensive, or shut down. But if you've built your EQ, you'll breathe, stay centered, and respond calmly. You might say, "I hear your concern. Can we explore it together?" That small shift changes everything. That's the real-world power of emotional intelligence. It's not just about being emotionally nice. It's about being emotionally effective. Chapter 2. Building self-awareness. If emotional intelligence were a house, self-awareness would be the foundation. Without it, everything else wobbles. Your decisions, your reactions, your relationships. But with it, you gain a clear window into who you are and how you show up in the world. So, what does it truly mean to be self-aware? At its heart, self-awareness is the ability to observe your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors without judgment. It's like stepping outside yourself and calmly saying, "Ah, I see what's going on here." It's not about being perfect. It's about being present and honest with yourself. Why self-awareness is the key to growth. Think of self-awareness as the flashlight that helps you explore the darker, less visible corners of your inner world. When you shine that light, you start to notice what emotions are guiding your choices, which habits are helping or hurting you, how your tone, body language, and energy affect others, and where your emotional triggers lie. The more aware you are, the more power you have to change, grow, and respond, rather than react. Without self-awareness, we often live on autopilot. But with it, we gain emotional freedom. Signs of strong self-awareness. How do you know if you're self-aware? Here are a few signs. You regularly check in with yourself to see how you're feeling. You're willing to admit mistakes without spiraling into guilt. You understand how your emotions influence your actions. You notice patterns in your behavior. Over time, you seek feedback, not for praise, but for growth. And most importantly, you don't shy away from inner discomfort. You lean into it with curiosity. But don't worry if you don't relate to all of these just yet. Self-awareness isn't something you either have or don't. It's something you practice, like a muscle that strengthens over time. Let's explore how. Tool number 1, the power of the pause. One of the simplest yet most powerful tools for building. Self-awareness is the pause. In a moment of stress, frustration, or excitement, pause and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling it? What do I need in this moment? That pause gives you space between the emotion and your reaction. And in that space is where awareness and growth happen. This isn't always easy, especially when emotions are intense. But the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Tool number 2, journaling with intention. Journaling isn't just about writing your thoughts. It's about discovering them. At the end of each day, try asking yourself, what emotion showed up most today? When did I feel most triggered? What did I learn about myself today? Keep it short, honest, and consistent. Over time, you'll begin to notice patterns that were once invisible. You'll learn how certain environments, people, or thoughts affect your emotional state. And with that awareness, you gain the ability to respond rather than react. Tool number 3, emotional vocabulary. Matters. Here's something most people don't realize. You can't manage what you can't name. Too often, we label everything as mad and sad or stressed. But emotions are more nuanced than that. Are you feeling anxious or maybe overwhelmed, disappointed or betrayed? The more specific you are, the more clearly you can understand and work with your emotions. So expand your emotional vocabulary. Learn to say things like, I feel frustrated because I wasn't heard. I'm embarrassed because I made a mistake in front of others. I'm proud of how I handled that conversation. Words matter. Precision brings clarity. Tool number 4, ask for honest feedback. Sometimes the mirror we need isn't inside us, it's in the eyes of others. Ask trusted friends, mentors, or colleagues. How do I typically come across in group settings? What's one thing I could do to communicate better? Is there a blind spot you think I might have? Be open. Listen without defensiveness. Even if the feedback stings a little, it's gold for growth. Remember, feedback isn't a threat to your identity. It's a gift to your awareness. Tool number 5, meditation and mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of noticing without judging. Through practices like meditation, you begin to witness your thoughts and feelings without becoming them. Even just 5 minutes a day of focused breathing can help you become more aware of how your mind reacts to stress, where your attention goes, what stories you tell yourself over time. Mindfulness helps you catch emotional reactions before they take over, and that's a superpower in today's fast-paced world. Understanding emotional triggers. We all have emotional triggers, situations, or behaviors that activate strong reactions in us. Maybe it's being interrupted, or ignored, or criticized. Triggers often stem from past experiences, fears, or unmet needs. Becoming aware of your triggers doesn't mean you have to get rid of them. It means you can work with them instead of being controlled by them. The next time you feel a strong emotional response, ask, what exactly triggered me? Is my reaction based on the present or the past? What does this moment remind me of? Every trigger is a clue. Every reaction is a teacher. The inner observer. Ultimately, building self-awareness means developing your inner observer. This is the calm, wise part of you that watches what's happening without judgment. It notices when you feel jealous without shaming you. It sees your overthinking without getting tangled in it. It acknowledges your pain without trying to push it away. This inner observer doesn't need to fix everything, it simply notices, and that noticing brings healing, clarity, and choice. Real-life example, from reaction to reflection. Let's say you're in traffic, running late, and someone cuts you off. Your chest tightens. You mutter something under your breath. You feel the heat of frustration rising. Now imagine practicing self-awareness in that moment. You pause. You breathe. You say to yourself, I'm feeling anxious because I hate being late. That driver triggered something, but I don't want to carry this energy all day. With that awareness, you release the need to react. You reclaim your peace. And that's emotional intelligence in action. Chapter 3. Mastering Self-Regulation. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm. Lightning flashes, winds howl, and chaos surrounds you. Now imagine standing still, calm, centered, not because the storm isn't real, but because you've learned how not to get swept away by it. That's what self-regulation feels like. Self-regulation is your ability to manage your emotions, thoughts, and impulses, especially in moments of stress, frustration, or overwhelm. It doesn't mean you suppress your emotions, it means you guide them with wisdom, not willpower. Why self-regulation matters. Have you ever said something in anger and immediately regretted it? Made a decision based on panic, only to wish you'd waited? Felt your emotions take over like a wave you couldn't stop? That's what life without self-regulation feels like. Reactive, impulsive, and often messy. But when you build this skill, you begin to respond instead of react. Choose your words mindfully. Stay calm under pressure and recover from emotional hits. Faster self-regulation helps you show up as your best self, even when things get hard. The two sides of self-regulation. There are two key aspects to self-regulation. Managing emotions internally. This is how you soothe yourself, reframe thoughts, and stay grounded during emotional turbulence. Managing reactions externally. This is how you choose your words, actions, and energy in social situations, especially when tension is high. Mastering both gives you the emotional agility to handle life with grace. Let's break it down. Tool number 1. The emotion-action gap. One of the most powerful things you can ever learn is this. There is a space between what you feel and what you do. In that space is your power to choose. For example, you might feel angry, but you don't have to yell. You might feel nervous, but you can still speak with confidence. You might feel hurt, but you can respond with clarity, not spite. Practice pausing in that gap. Take a breath. Count to 3. Ask yourself, what's the best version of me want to do right now? What outcome do I really want? This tiny pause can prevent big regrets. Tool number 2, breathing for emotional control. When emotions run high, your body reacts first. Your heart races, your muscles tense, your breath shortens. But guess what? You can flip the switch by using your breath. Try this simple technique called box breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Repeat this cycle 3 to 4 times. You'll feel your nervous system settle. Your mind will clear. And in just a minute, you'll go from chaos to calm. Breathing is your body's built-in regulator. Use it. Tool number 3. Emotional reframing. Thoughts fuel emotions. So if you can shift the story you tell yourself, you can shift the way you feel. Let's say you think, my boss ignored me. I must have messed up. That thought creates anxiety or shame. Now reframe it. Maybe they're distracted. I'll check in later. Same situation, different interpretation, less emotional charge. Reframing isn't about pretending everything is fine. It's about choosing the most empowering version of the truth. Ask yourself, is there another way to look at this? What story am I telling myself? Is this thought helping or harming me? Master your thoughts and you master your emotions. Tool number 4, delay the reaction in heated moments. You don't have to respond right now. In fact, waiting can often be the wisest move. Feeling upset by a message? Don't respond immediately. Heard something hurtful in a meeting, sleep on it, want to lash out? Take a walk instead. You're allowed to pause. You're allowed to cool down. Emotional maturity means knowing when to wait. As the old saying goes, don't make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. Tool number 5, create emotional anchors. Emotional anchor is something you use to bring yourself back to a calm, grounded state when things feel out of control. Anchors can be a phrase like, "I've handled worse before," a photo that makes you smile, a memory that fills you with strength, or even a calming playlist. Use your anchors intentionally. Keep them close. They're reminders that you are bigger than this moment. Tool number 6, practice mental time travel when amber. In doubt, ask your future self, how will I feel about this a week from now? What would my wisest, calmest self do? Zooming out gives you perspective. It helps you see beyond the heat of the moment and act with long-term clarity. Your future self will thank you for choosing peace over reaction. Real life. Example, the power of restraint. Let's imagine you're in a heated discussion with someone. You feel your blood pressure rise. You're about to interrupt and argue back, but then you pause. You breathe. You remind yourself, this isn't about winning, it's about understanding. You listen. You stay calm. And because you did, the conversation shifts from combative to constructive. That's self-regulation. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. It's not avoidance, it's emotional mastery. When you slip, because you will, let's be real, no one regulates perfectly all the time. There will be moments when you snap, shut down, or spiral, and that's okay. Self-regulation isn't about perfection. It's about catching yourself faster, learning from it, repairing if needed, and choosing differently next time. So when you slip, ask, what triggered that reaction? What could I try differently next time? How can I make things right if I hurt someone else? This reflection turns mistakes into progress. The long-term payoff. The more you practice self-regulation, the more emotionally grounded you become trustworthy. You appear to others, respect you earn in high-pressure situations, and peace you create within yourself. You begin to feel in charge of your inner world. You become someone others admire, not just for your intelligence, but for your presence. Chapter 4. The power of empathy. Close your eyes and picture this. A friend tells you they're overwhelmed at work. You don't just hear the words, you feel the weight behind them. You recognize the tiredness in their voice, the slump in their shoulders, the unspoken plea for understanding. That moment, where you feel with them, is empathy. Empathy is one of the most powerful yet most underrated human skills. It's not just about being nice, it's about creating deep, authentic connection. It's how we make people feel seen, heard, and valued. And in a world full of noise, empathy is the quiet superpower that changes everything. What empathy really means? Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. It's stepping into their shoes, without judgment, without fixing, and without needing to say, I know exactly how you feel. There are 3 main types of empathy. Cognitive empathy. This is understanding what someone is feeling, being able to intellectually grasp their emotions. Emotional empathy. This is feeling with someone, letting their emotions echo within you. Compassionate empathy. This goes one step further. Not only do you understand and feel, but you also feel moved to help. Mastering empathy involves tuning in to all 3. Why empathy is a social superpower. Here's what empathy does in real life. It diffuses tension during arguments. It builds trust faster than any strategy. It deepens relationships, whether personal or professional, and it makes you unforgettable in people's lives. When someone says, "You really get me," you've created emotional safety. That's what empathy sounds like in action. Empathy versus sympathy. People often confuse empathy with sympathy, but they're very different. Sympathy says, "I feel sorry for you." Empathy says, "I'm here with you." Sympathy stands at a distance. Empathy steps into the experience. Sympathy may unintentionally isolate. Empathy creates connection. As author Brené Brown says, empathy fuels connection. Sympathy drives disconnection. How to practice empathy? In real life, empathy isn't something you're born with or without. It's a skill, and it can be learned and strengthened. Let's break down practical ways to build your empathy muscle. Deep listening. Hear what's not being said. Most people listen to respond, but empathy means listening to understand. That means putting away distractions, maintaining eye contact, letting go of judgment and paying attention, not just to words, but to tone, body language, and pauses. Sometimes, what someone doesn't say is just as revealing as what they do. The next time someone talks to you, don't interrupt, don't fix. Just listen, fully, attentively, generously. Ask with curiosity, not assumption. Instead of assuming you know what someone feels, ask gently, "What's that been like for you? How are you really feeling about it? Do you want support or just someone to listen?" These open-ended questions invite depth. They show that you care enough to understand the real experience, not just your version of it. Mirror and validate emotions. When someone shares something vulnerable, reflect it back with validation. That sounds incredibly frustrating. I'd feel the same in your shoes. You've been through a lot. It makes total sense that you feel that way. You're not fixing the problem. You're simply affirming that their emotions are valid, human, and okay to express. That alone creates healing. Suspend judgment. To truly connect, you must let go of the need to judge, correct, or compare. Empathy means making space for their truth, even if it's not your truth. When someone is struggling, avoid telling them to look on the bright side, comparing their pain to someone else's, offering advice too quickly. Just be present. That's often all they need. Use empathy in conflict. Empathy isn't just for comfort, it's critical during disagreements. When tempers rise, ask yourself, what might they be feeling underneath their anger? What are they truly trying to express? Often, anger hides hurt. Defensiveness hides fear. When you look beneath the surface, you'll find a human longing to be seen and understood. When you respond with empathy instead of ego, arguments shift into conversations. Practice empathy with yourself. Here's something many people forget. You can't offer real empathy to others if you don't give it to yourself. Self-empathy is recognizing your own feelings with kindness. Instead of criticism, instead of, "Why am I like this?" Try, "It makes sense that I feel this way. I'm doing my best." Instead of, "I should be over this by now." Try, "Healing takes time. I'm allowed to go at my pace." Treat yourself with the same gentleness you'd offer a dear friend. That's where true empathy begins. Empathy in action. A story picture. This, your coworker snaps at you during a meeting. Your first instinct is to snap back, but you pause, and instead, you ask privately, "Hey, you seemed stressed earlier. Is everything okay?" They open up. Turns out they've been caring for a sick parent and barely sleeping. The pressure finally spilled over. That one moment of empathy didn't just resolve tension, it built trust. Empathy opens doors logic never could. The ripple effect. When you lead with empathy, conversations become deeper, relationships become richer, and your presence becomes a source of safety and calm. You start noticing things others miss. You connect with people on a level that feels rare in today's world. And in doing so, you change lives, quietly, powerfully, and with heart. Empathy doesn't make you soft. It makes you strong in all the ways that matter. Chapter 5. Mastering Social Skills. Have you ever met someone who could walk into a room and instantly win everyone over? They aren't the loudest or the smartest, but they're magnetic. People like them, they listen to them, they remember them. That's not luck. That's social skill in action. Social skills are not about being charming or manipulative. They're about connection. They're the art of making others feel seen, heard, and respected, while expressing your true self with confidence. And the best part? These skills aren't reserved for the lucky few. You can learn them. You can master them. And when you do, your personal and professional life will never be the same. What are social skills? At their core, social skills are your ability to interact effectively and harmoniously with others. That includes communicating clearly, building rapport, reading social cues, resolving conflict, collaborating in teams, creating emotional safety. It's about making people feel comfortable around you, whether you're talking to one person or 100. The pillars of powerful social skills. Let's break social skills into 6 key pillars you can practice daily. Active communication words are powerful, but how you use them matters even more. Good communicators don't just talk, they connect. Here's how. Speak with clarity, not complexity. Simpler words often carry more power. Be concise. Respect people's time and attention. Match your tone with your message. Calm tone builds trust, excitement energizes. Silence can sometimes say more than words. Most importantly, communicate with intention. Ask yourself, what do I want this person to feel, understand, or do after this interaction? Powerful body language. Your body speaks before your words do. 2. Master nonverbal communication. Make eye contact, not in a staring contest but with warmth. Smile genuinely. It creates instant approachability. Stand with open posture, shoulders relaxed, arms uncrossed. Nod while listening. It shows engagement. Mirror others subtly. It builds subconscious trust. Body language sets the emotional tone of every interaction. When aligned with your words, it amplifies your message. Emotional awareness in social settings. Social intelligence means tuning in to the emotional energy of others. Pay attention to their facial expressions, shifts in voice tone. Their level of engagement. Is someone withdrawing, getting defensive, looking confused? Adapt in real time. That's the mark of someone who's not just present, but aware. Ask clarifying questions like, did that make sense? What's your take on this? You seem quiet. What's on your mind? Awareness creates safety, and safety is the foundation of all great relationships. Building rapport and connection. Rapport isn't about being nice. It's about creating mutual comfort and trust. You build it by finding common ground, shared interests, values, or goals. Using names. People love hearing their name. Showing genuine curiosity about others. Giving honest compliments. Not flattery, but thoughtful observations. Ask more than you tell. People remember how you made them feel, not how much you know. Handling difficult conversations with grace. Conflict is a part of life, but how you handle it defines your emotional maturity. Tips for navigating tough talks. Stay calm. Even if emotions run high, focus on understanding before responding. Use I statements instead of blame. I felt hurt when, instead of you always. Seek resolution, not victory. When you approach conflict with empathy and curiosity, it becomes an opportunity, not a threat. Being authentically memorable. The most likable people are the most authentic ones. They're not trying to impress. They're not trying to be perfect. They're real, they're honest. They speak from the heart and listen with it too. Let people see the real you, your strengths, your flaws, your quirks. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's what allows true connection. Remember, You don't need to be liked by everyone. You just need to be genuine with the right people. The secret ingredient, social timing. Ever notice how some people just get the timing of conversations? They know when to speak, when to stay silent, and when to move on. This is called social timing, and it's the rhythm of human interaction. To develop it, practice pausing before responding. Notice people's energy shifts. Don't interrupt. Let people finish their thoughts. Learn to end conversations gracefully before they drag on. Think of social timing like music. When you hit the right beat, people stay in sync with you. Social skills in the digital age, in a world of texts, tweets, and video calls. Social skills matter more than ever. Even online, you can show emotional intelligence. Respond to messages thoughtfully, not impulsively. Use emojis and tone indicators to clarify emotion. Practice patience and respect in disagreements. Remember, behind every screen is a human being kind. Clear and compassionate online builds just as much trust as it does in person. A real-life example. Meet Maya. Maya wasn't the most outgoing person, but she had one gift. She made people feel like they mattered. She remembered details. She listened. With presence, she gave space for others to shine. At work, her team adored her. Clients trusted her. And in every room she entered, people felt at ease. Why? Because Maya mastered the art of connection. She led with empathy, expressed herself clearly, and made people feel important. That's the magic of social skills in motion. Your daily social skills practice plan. Here's a simple daily checklist to boost your skills. Smile at 3 strangers. Ask someone a meaningful question. Practice active listening in one conversation. Give 1 sincere compliment. Reflect on 1 interaction. What went well? What could improve? Repetition turns awareness into habit. Habit turns skill into second nature. Chapter 6. Managing negative emotions. Gracefully, we all experience them. Anger, anxiety, jealousy, sadness, guilt. Negative emotions are part of being human. They're not flaws, they're signals, they're messengers. But when left unchecked, they can cloud our thinking, damage relationships, and drain our energy. The goal isn't to suppress them. The goal is to understand, manage, and respond with emotional wisdom. Mastering this ability is a game changer. Why managing emotions matters. Imagine you're in a heated conversation. Your heart is racing. Words are about to fly out. Now pause. That moment, your emotional intelligence is being tested. Not in how you feel, but in what you do with that feeling. People with high emotional intelligence don't avoid difficult emotions. They learn to recognize them quickly, regulate them calmly, and channel them productively. And that's exactly what you're about to learn. Step 1. Name it to tame. When emotions flare, most people react without understanding what they're really feeling. But labeling your emotions gives you power over them. It's called emotional granularity, the ability to identify what you're specifically feeling. Instead of just angry, ask, am I feeling hurt? Frustrated? Betrayed? Embarrassed? Instead of just sad, ask, am I feeling lonely, hopeless, disappointed? Each label brings clarity, and clarity leads to control. Step 2. Pause and breathe before you act. Pause. This space between stimulus and response is where your power lies. Even 10 seconds of deep breathing can shift your emotional state. Try this. Inhale deeply for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale slowly for 6 seconds. Repeat 3 times. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's natural calming switch. In that space, your mind regains clarity, and your emotions lose their grip. Step 3. Question the story. Emotions are shaped by the story you tell yourself. For example, if someone doesn't text back, do you assume they're ignoring you or just busy? If a colleague criticizes your work, do you feel attacked or see it as feedback? Negative emotions often stem from distorted thinking. I'm not good enough. They're out to get me. This always happens to me. Pause and ask, is this story true? Is there another way to see this? What would I tell a friend in this situation? Challenging your inner narrative rewrites your emotional script. Step 4. Choose a response, not a reaction. Reacting is automatic. Responding is intentional. When you feel triggered, practice the 3 R's. Recognize the emotion, reflect on the cause, respond with clarity. Example, instead of snapping at someone who upset you, say, I'm feeling overwhelmed right now. Let's revisit this when I've had a moment to process. This simple shift diffuses tension and protects your relationships. Step 5. Move the energy. Emotions are energy in motion. If you don't move them, they get stuck. Healthy ways to release negative emotions. Go for a walk. Journal what you're feeling. Exercise. Talk to a trusted friend. Create. Draw. Write. Play music. Practice deep breathing or meditation. You don't always need to fix an emotion. Sometimes you just need to let it move through you. Step 6. Practice self-compassion. Negative emotions are not weaknesses. They're signs that something inside you needs attention. Be kind to yourself. Say, it's okay to feel this. This emotion is valid. I'm doing my best, and that's enough. Self-compassion isn't indulgent. It's essential. The more you treat yourself with grace, the more resilience you build for life's emotional storms. The emotional energy spectrum. Let's break down the energy levels of emotions. High energy, low energy, anger, sadness, anxiety, guilt, frustra, tie-in, shame, jealousy, apathy. Some high energy emotions, like anger, push us to act. Others, like shame, pull us inward. The key is balancing energy. Channel anger into productive action. Convert anxiety into planning. Let sadness open your heart to healing. No emotion is bad. Each one has a message. When you listen with compassion, you'll find its wisdom. Real-life example, the elevator moment. Meet Jordan. Jordan's manager gave him last-minute feedback right before a big meeting. His heart raced, his face flushed. He felt blindsided. Old Jordan would have lashed out or shut down. But this time, Jordan paused. He took a deep breath in the elevator, named what he felt. I'm anxious and frustrated. He questioned his story. She probably wasn't trying to undermine me. Maybe she thought it would help. He walked into the meeting calm, centered, and confident. That's the power of emotional mastery. A quick emotional rescue toolkit. When emotions rise quickly, use this quick self-regulation toolkit. Label it. I'm feeling anxious. Reframe it. This is a sign I care about the outcome. Breathe. Slow, controlled breathing for 60 seconds. Journal. Write down your thoughts and feelings. Share. Talk to someone you trust. Reset. Play. Calming music or take a short walk. Use this whenever you feel overwhelmed. You're training your emotional muscles. Your emotional mastery habit. Plan to strengthen your emotional intelligence daily. Check in with your emotions every morning. Reflect on one emotional moment each evening. Practice naming and reframing. At least once per day, celebrate emotional wins, even small ones. Keep a mood journal for awareness patterns. With time, your responses will become calmer, clearer, and more confident. Chapter 7. The Art of Influence and Persuasion. Influence isn't about domination. It's not about tricks or manipulation. It's about connection. Real influence flows from trust, empathy, and authenticity. And when you combine emotional intelligence with social awareness, something powerful happens. People listen, people follow, people change. That's the art of persuasion. not controlling others but guiding them toward mutual value. What is influence really? Influence is your ability to shift perception, inspire action, and shape outcomes without force. Whether you're pitching an idea, leading a team, teaching a child, navigating conflict, you're using influence. And the better you understand people, the more impact you can make. Persuasion isn't magic, it's a set of learnable skills. The foundation, trust and likability. People are more likely to be influenced by those they know. Trust before you speak. Ask, do they feel heard by me? Do they believe I respect them? Do they trust my intentions? This is why emotional intelligence matters. When you listen deeply, validate others' feelings, and lead with empathy, influence becomes natural, not forced. The secret weapon. Active. Listening. Want to persuade someone? Start by listening to them. Real listening isn't about waiting for your turn to speak. It's about understanding why they feel the way they do. Practice these techniques. Echo their words. So what I'm hearing is, name their emotions. You seem concerned about. Ask curious questions. What's most important to you about this? When people feel heard, they lower their defenses. And that opens the door to meaningful persuasion. Know their why. Every person has a why, a set of values, fears, and desires that shape their decisions. When you understand someone's why, you can frame your message in a way that resonates. Example, don't sell a fitness program by saying you'll lose weight. Say, you'll feel more confident at your daughter's wedding. Connect your message to what matters to them. Influence is never about you convincing them. It's about helping them see how your idea serves their goals. The power of framing. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. Framing means presenting information in a way that shifts perspective. Instead of, this will take a lot of effort. Try, this is an investment with a big payoff. Instead of, we'll lose money if we don't act. Try, we have a huge opportunity to grow if we act now. The brain responds more positively to gain-oriented language than fear-based. Messaging. Frame your message around benefits, not burdens. Influence through storytelling. Facts inform. Stories move. If you want to persuade someone, tell a story. Why? Stories create emotional engagement. They help people visualize outcomes. They make abstract ideas feel personal. Example, instead of listing statistics about leadership burnout, say, I had a client named James, brilliant, driven, but completely overwhelmed. One simple change in how he communicated with his team helped him cut his hours in half and reignite his passion. Let me show you how. Stories transform information into inspiration. Use the principle of reciprocity. Humans are wired for mutual exchange. When you give, without expectation, people naturally want to give back. This could mean sharing a helpful tip, offering your time, expressing sincere appreciation. Over time, this builds goodwill. And when the moment comes to ask for something, your influence is already strong, because they trust your character. The power of social proof. People tend to follow others' actions, especially when uncertain. This is why reviews, testimonials, and group behavior matter. Want to persuade someone? Mention how others like them have already taken the leap. Most of our clients saw results in just 2 weeks. Your colleagues have already implemented this and seen success. It signals, this path is safe. You're not alone. Confidence. Over-pressure confidence is persuasive. Desperation is not. People are drawn to certainty. That doesn't mean arrogance. It means quiet, grounded conviction. When you present your idea with calm confidence and no pushiness, others feel safer exploring. And say, well, here's what I recommend and here's why. You're free to choose what's best, but this has worked well for others. Let me know if you need anything else to decide. Confidence invites. Pressure repels. Influence in everyday moments. Influence doesn't just happen in big presentations or sales calls. It happens in daily life. You influence when you comfort a friend, motivate your team, support your partner's growth, diffuse conflict with empathy, encourage someone to believe in themselves. Every interaction is an opportunity to uplift, empower, or inspire. This is ethical influence, quiet, steady, and deeply human. A quick influence framework, PACE. When preparing to persuade someone, use the PACE model. P. Prepare emotionally. Stay calm, grounded, and focused on connection. A. Align values. What matters to them? Speak their language. C. Communicate clearly. Use simple language, emotional hooks, and powerful stories. E. Engage their input. Make it a conversation, not a monologue. When you lead with PACE, your words carry power. Not because they're louder, but because they're wiser. A final thought on influence. True influence is not about winning arguments. It's about building bridges. When you lead with understanding, when you choose empathy over ego, when you speak to hearts, not just minds, people listen. And more than that, they remember you. Chapter 8. Building deeper connections and meaningful relationships. We all crave connection. It's a core part of what makes us human. Yet, in today's busy world, genuine relationships often feel rare and fleeting. Building deeper connections isn't about having more friends or followers. It's about quality over quantity. Meaningful relationships nourish your soul, sharpen your emotional intelligence, and boost your social skills in ways that last a lifetime. The heart of connection, vulnerability. Connection starts with vulnerability, the courage to be authentic and open. It's tempting to hide our fears, doubts, and imperfections. But vulnerability invites others in. It builds trust. When you share your true self, others feel safe to do the same. Remember Brené Brown's words. Vulnerability is the birthplace of connection and the path to the feeling of worthiness. Practice radical presence to connect deeply. Be fully present. That means putting away distractions, listening without planning your reply, observing body language and tone, responding with empathy, not judgment. When you practice presence, you send the message, you matter. And that message is a powerful foundation for meaningful bonds. Ask meaningful questions. Small talk can open the door, but meaningful questions invite others to step inside. Try questions like, what's something you're passionate about? What's a challenge you've recently overcome? What's a dream you're working toward? What's one thing you wish people understood about you? These questions spark genuine conversations that go beyond surface-level chatter. Mirror and match mirroring body language and tone subtly builds rapport and comfort. If your conversation partner leans forward, you lean forward. If they speak softly, you soften your voice. This unconscious mimicry creates a feeling of we're on the same wavelength, but always stay genuine. The goal is connection, not imitation. Show appreciation and gratitude. A simple thank you can deepen bonds. Express appreciation for someone's time, their perspective, their support, their unique qualities. Gratitude strengthens relationships by focusing attention on what's positive and valuable. Respect boundaries. Healthy relationships respect personal boundaries. Not everyone is ready for deep conversations right away. Some need space. Others have different communication styles. Honor these boundaries with kindness and patience. Connection grows best in a safe, respectful environment. Support and celebrate others. Meaningful relationships thrive when you support and celebrate each other's wins. Be genuinely happy for others' successes. Offer help without expecting anything in return. When you invest in others, you build trust and loyalty. Handle conflict with care. Conflict is inevitable, but it doesn't have to destroy connection. Approach disagreements with curiosity instead of judgment. Listen actively. Express your feelings using I statements. For example, I feel hurt when I'm interrupted. Can we try to listen fully to each other? This keeps the door open for resolution and growth. Invest time and energy. Deeper relationships require time and attention. Consistent small actions, checking in, remembering important dates, sharing experiences, build strong emotional deposits. Think of relationships like gardens. They flourish with regular care, the ripple effect of connection. When you build authentic connections, you don't just improve your own life. You create a ripple effect, uplifting others, spreading kindness, and inspiring emotional intelligence. In your community, the world becomes a warmer, more understanding place. A simple connection. Practice. Try this today. Reach out to someone you want to know better. Ask one meaningful question. Listen fully, without interruption. Share something vulnerable about yourself. Express gratitude for the conversation. Notice how it feels to deepen one connection. Chapter 9, Mastering Nonverbal Communication. Words matter, but what you don't say often matters even more. Nonverbal communication is the invisible thread weaving through every interaction. It shapes how others perceive you, your confidence, empathy, and authenticity. Mastering this silent language elevates your social skills and deepens emotional connections. Why nonverbal cues? Matter studies show that 70% to 93% of communication impact comes from body language, tone, and facial expressions, not words. This means people often trust what they see and feel over what they hear. By tuning into nonverbal cues, you understand hidden emotions, spot inconsistencies, build trust faster, respond with greater empathy. The basics. Posture and presence. Your posture sets the stage. Open, relaxed, and upright posture signals confidence and approachability. Closed posture, crossed arms, slouched shoulders, can signal defensiveness or discomfort. Try this simple practice. Stand tall, shoulders back, chest open, breathe deeply, feel grounded. This power posture not only influences how others see you, but also how you feel inside. Eye contact, the window to connection. Eye contact communicates attention and honesty. Too little eye contact can seem evasive or disinterested. Too much can feel intense or aggressive. Aim for a natural rhythm. Maintain eye contact for a few seconds, then briefly look away. When you look into someone's eyes with warmth, you send a message. I'm here with you. Facial expressions. Your emotional mirror. Your face is the most expressive part of your body. A genuine smile, subtle eyebrow raise, or thoughtful nod can encourage openness and trust. Be mindful of micro-expressions, brief, involuntary facial expressions revealing true emotions. Practice awareness by watching faces during conversations. Are their smiles real? Is their forehead tense? Gestures speak volumes. Hand gestures help emphasize points and express enthusiasm. Open palms suggest honesty and openness. Pointing can feel accusatory. Fidgeting may signal nervousness. Use deliberate, calm gestures to complement your words. For example, when making an important point, open your hands slightly. To invite collaboration, gesture toward the group. Tone of voice, the emotional undercurrent. How you say something is often more important than what you say. Tone conveys emotions, like warmth, urgency, or frustration. Pay attention to your pitch, pace, and volume. Speaking too fast may cause anxiety. Too slow can sound dull. Practice varying your tone to keep listeners engaged and connected. Reading others' nonverbal signals. To respond effectively, observe others closely. Look for clusters of signals. Are they leaning away while crossing arms? Possibly defensive. Are they nodding, smiling, and maintaining eye contact? Likely open and engaged. Remember context. A crossed arm in a cold room might mean coldness, not closed off. Stay curious, not judgmental. Matching and mirroring. Others' body language builds rapport unconsciously. If they lean forward, you lean forward. If they use animated hand gestures, you do too. Mirroring shows empathy and connection. Just keep it subtle and sincere. Space and distance. The invisible boundary, personal space varies by culture, relationship, and situation. Too close can feel intrusive. Too far can feel cold. Notice how close people stand. Respect their comfort zones. Use proximity thoughtfully to invite or give space. Practice makes perfect. Mastering nonverbal communication takes practice. Try this. Record yourself speaking on camera. Watch for posture, facial expressions, and gestures. Ask yourself, does my body language match my words? Ask trusted friends for feedback. Final thoughts on nonverbal. Mastery words open the door, but nonverbal cues invite people inside. When your body, face, and voice all align with your intentions, your message becomes powerful and authentic. This harmony deepens trust, strengthens relationships, and boosts your emotional intelligence. Coming up next, Chapter 10. Conflict resolution with emotional intelligence. Conflict is not the enemy. It's an invitation, a doorway to deeper understanding, stronger relationships, and personal growth, but only if you handle it well. Emotional intelligence gives you the power to transform conflict into connection. It's not about avoiding disagreements. It's about managing them wisely. Why conflict happens at its root. Conflict arises from differences of opinions, needs, values, or expectations. It's part of every relationship, whether personal or professional. But how we react to conflict defines the outcome. Do we attack, do we avoid, or do we engage with awareness? Pause before reacting. The first key to emotionally intelligent conflict resolution: don't react. Respond. That starts with a pause. In the heat of the moment, emotions can hijack your ability to think clearly. So, breathe. Take a moment to notice your feelings, acknowledge the trigger. Choose your next move with intention. That tiny pause can prevent massive damage. Seek first to understand. Often, we jump into conflict wanting to be heard, but real resolution begins when we seek to understand. Ask yourself, what is this person really feeling? What unmet need might be driving their words? Am I listening or just waiting to speak? Active. Listening is your superpower here. Use I statements, not blame. Instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try, "I feel unheard when I'm interrupted." I statements express emotion without accusation. They open space for dialogue instead of triggering defense. You shift from attacking to inviting understanding. Stay calm and grounded. Your emotional state sets the tone. Speak in a calm, steady voice. Keep your body relaxed and open. Maintain eye contact with kindness, not intensity. The more grounded you are, the more others feel safe to meet you. Halfway. Name the emotion beneath the conflict. Behind every angry word or defensive reaction is usually a softer, hidden emotion: hurt, fear, insecurity. Emotional intelligence helps you look deeper. For example, anger may mask a feeling of being unappreciated. Silence might hide fear of rejection. Defensiveness could mean shame or guilt. By identifying the core emotion, yours and theirs, you begin to heal the true source of tension. Find common ground even in disagreement. You can look for shared values or goals. Ask, what do we both want here? What outcome would feel fair to both of us? How can we move forward together? Conflict resolution is not about winning. It's about understanding and collaboration. Apologize. When needed, a sincere apology can dissolve even deep tension. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a mark of emotional strength. A powerful apology sounds like, "I realize I hurt you and I'm truly sorry. That wasn't my intention, but I take responsibility. Let's talk about how we can rebuild trust." Genuine remorse repairs connection. Know when to take a break. Sometimes emotions run too high. It's okay to say, "Let's revisit this when we've both had time to think. I need a moment to calm down so we can talk respectfully." Stepping away can prevent saying things you'll regret. Returning with clarity often leads to a more productive resolution. Forgive, don't fester. Holding on to anger or resentment weighs down your emotional health. Forgiveness doesn't mean you excuse bad behavior. It means you choose freedom over bitterness. Forgive others, forgive yourself, let go, and grow. The bigger picture, growth through conflict, handled well, conflict can strengthen trust, reveal blind spots, build communication skills, deepen emotional bonds. Every challenge carries a lesson. Every disagreement is a chance to evolve. A quick conflict resolution toolkit. When conflict arises, remember these steps. Pause, breathe before reacting. Listen, seek to understand the other side. Express clearly, use I statements. Stay calm. Regulate your body and tone. Find common ground. Collaborate, don't compete. Apologize or forgive. Heal instead of hurt. Grow. Reflect on what you've learned. Chapter 11. Empathy in action. Understanding and responding to others. Imagine this. You're struggling, not visibly, not loudly, but inside, you're overwhelmed. And then someone looks at you, not with judgment, not with advice, but with understanding. They see you. That's empathy in action. It's not about fixing. It's about feeling with someone. Empathy is the beating heart of emotional intelligence. And when you learn to practice it intentionally, you unlock deeper human connection than words alone can ever provide. What is empathy? Really, empathy is the ability to feel with someone, not for them. It's the quiet art of stepping into another's emotional world without making it about you. There are three main types of empathy. Cognitive empathy, understanding what someone is feeling or thinking. Emotional empathy, feeling what they feel. Compassionate empathy, wanting to help without overwhelming or rescuing. Mastering empathy means learning to balance all three. Empathy begins with presence. You can't connect if you're distracted. Empathy requires full attention, eye contact, open body language, and mental stillness. You're not scanning your phone, you're not planning your response, you're just there. Becoming fully present is the most generous act in a world filled with half-listeners. Listen to hear, not to respond. Most people listen to reply. Empathic people listen to understand. Here's how. Let them speak without interruption. Echo. Back their keywords to show you're tracking. Nod. Maintain eye contact and give affirming gestures. Sometimes a simple, "That must have been really hard," is more powerful than 1,000 solutions. Validate without judging. Validation doesn't mean you agree. It means you acknowledge their right to feel how they feel. You can say, "It makes sense you'd feel that way. Anyone in your position might feel the same. I hear you. You're not alone." Empathy builds bridges. Judgment builds walls. Feel what they feel. Without drowning, emotional empathy connects you at the heart level. But here's the secret. Don't get swept away. You don't need to cry just because they are. You need to remain steady enough to hold space. Think of yourself as an emotional anchor, there to feel with them while offering calm, safe grounding. Ask open-ended questions. Sometimes empathy means helping someone explore their own feelings. Try questions like, "How did that make you feel? What was the hardest part for you? What do you need right now?" These questions show you care, not just about what happened, but about how it impacted them. Watch for nonverbal cues. People don't always say what they feel, but their body does. Notice hesitation in their voice, a forced smile, eyes that say, "I'm fine, but I'm not." When you gently acknowledge what's unspoken, you give them permission to open up. Respond with empathic language instead of saying, "You'll be fine." Try, "I know this feels really heavy right now. I'm here with you," instead of, "At least it's not worse." When we say, That sounds really painful. Thank you for sharing it with me. Empathy isn't about cheerleading, it's about connecting. Practice. Empathy with everyone. Empathy isn't reserved for moments of sadness. Use it when someone is excited, anxious, angry, joyful, when your friend gets a promotion. Celebrate with genuine excitement. When a coworker is frustrated, validate without defensiveness. Every emotion is an opportunity for deeper connection. Empathy is a skill you can build. Here's how to strengthen it daily. Pause and reflect. When someone reacts, strongly ask yourself, what else might be going on? Read fiction or watch character-driven stories. It strengthens your capacity to imagine others' perspectives. Practice active listening in small moments. Even a few minutes of focused conversation at the coffee shop can become an empathy gym. Empathy is like a muscle. Use it and it grows. Empathy in leadership and relationships. Leaders who practice empathy foster loyalty and innovation. Partners who use empathy build trust and emotional intimacy. Parents who empathize raise children who feel seen, safe, and understood. No matter your role, empathy makes you more human and more powerful. The ripple effect of empathy. One act of empathy can change a life. A kind glance, a moment of deep listening, a simple, "That must be so hard. I'm here for you." You never know how much someone needed it until you offer it. Empathy doesn't just change conversations, it changes people. Chapter 12. Building stronger relationships. Trust, respect, and communication. Strong relationships aren't built overnight. They're built moment by moment, conversation by conversation, with one invisible thread running through them all. Emotional intelligence. Whether it's a friendship, partnership, family bond, or team dynamic, 3 pillars sustain any healthy relationship. Trust, respect, communication. Master these and you become someone others want to connect with, deeply, authentically, and consistently. Trust. The foundation of every relationship. Trust is earned. It's not automatic. It grows in small, consistent moments. Following through on your word, being honest even when it's hard. Keeping private things. Private, owning your mistakes without excuses. When people trust you, they feel safe. And safety is the soil where connection thrives. How to build trust. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Show up on time, prepared, and present. Don't gossip. It erodes trust faster than fire. Be consistent. Trust doesn't like surprises. Trust is quiet. But when it's broken, it speaks loudly. Guard it like gold. Respect. Seeing the value in others. Respect means honoring someone's worth, even if you don't agree with them. You don't have to. Like every opinion, but you can still value the person. Ways to show respect. Listen without interrupting. Use someone's name when speaking. It creates connection. Be mindful of tone. Respect isn't just what you say, but how you say it. Allow space for disagreement without judgment. Respect means you don't have to win to be right. You just have to understand that other people matter. Communication. The bridge between two minds. Every relationship rises or falls on communication. But emotional intelligence helps you communicate clearly, kindly, and effectively. What emotionally intelligent communication sounds like: can I share something that's been on my mind? Here's how I felt when that happened. How did you experience that? Let's figure this out together. You're not just talking. You're inviting connection. The power of vulnerability. Strong relationships don't require perfection. They require realness. Being vulnerable means admitting when you're hurt, sharing what you need, owning your flaws, saying I was wrong or I need help. It takes courage. But vulnerability builds intimacy and true connection. People can't connect to a mask. They connect to you. How to handle miscommunication. Gracefully, it happens. We all misread each other sometimes. Emotionally intelligent people don't panic. They clarify. Try saying, I think I misunderstood you. Can you explain again? That wasn't my intention. How did you interpret it? Let's reset. I want us to understand each other better. Assume positive intent and check your ego at the door. Miscommunication doesn't have to be a wall. It can be a window. Create safe spaces. Want stronger relationships? Create a space where people feel safe to speak without being shut down, share emotions without fear, be themselves without masks. You create safety by listening deeply, responding gently, protecting confidentiality, offering encouragement instead of criticism. When someone feels emotionally safe with you, they let their guard down and let you in. Empathy, plus boundaries. Healthy relationships. Being kind doesn't mean being a doormat. Emotionally intelligent people know how to set clear boundaries while staying compassionate. You can say, I care about you, but I need space right now. I respect your opinion, but I disagree. I'm not okay with being spoken to that way. Boundaries protect relationships. They don't push people away. They protect the respect. Consistency builds confidence. The best relationships feel stable, not perfect, not always exciting, but reliable. People feel confident around you when you're emotionally consistent. You say what you mean. You're available when it matters. You don't swing from hot to cold. Consistency builds emotional security, and security makes love, friendship, and loyalty grow stronger. Rituals of connection. Want to deepen a relationship? Create tiny rituals, small but meaningful moments that say, you matter. A morning check-in, a shared playlist, inside jokes, a regular walk and talk, a handwritten note or quick thinking of you message. These rituals are the invisible threads that weave emotional closeness over time. When relationships strain, even strong relationships go through rough patches. Use your emotional intelligence. 2. Pause before reacting. Check in with your own emotions first. Listen openly to their side. Apologize for your part. Offer solutions, not ultimatums. Hard conversations don't ruin relationships. Avoiding them does. Relationships are mirrors. Every interaction teaches you something about yourself. Where do you get defensive? When do you feel unseen? How do you respond to conflict or closeness? Your relationships are mirrors reflecting your growth, your blind spots, and your brilliance. Lean into the learning. Final thought. Be the relationship you want. Want honesty? Be honest. Want compassion? Be compassionate. Want trust? Be trustworthy. You don't attract what you demand. You attract what you embody. Become someone worth connecting with, and the right connections will follow. Chapter 13. Emotional intelligence in leadership and teamwork. Great leaders don't just manage tasks. They move people. They inspire, connect, and elevate others, not through control, but through emotional intelligence. Whether you're leading a team, collaborating on a project, or simply trying to bring people together, one truth remains: your emotional skills define your leadership success. What makes a leader emotionally intelligent? It's not charisma. It's not authority. It's not even intelligence in the traditional sense. It's the ability to understand your own emotions, stay calm under pressure, make people feel seen, heard, and valued, resolve conflict with maturity, communicate clearly and respectfully. True leader leads from within, self-awareness at the helm. You can't lead others if you can't lead yourself. Emotional intelligence starts with self-awareness, knowing your strengths and weaknesses, understanding your emotional triggers, recognizing how your moods affect the room. When you're grounded, others feel safer. When you're aware, your decisions are wiser. The emotionally intelligent team builder. In any group dynamic, an emotionally intelligent team player encourages collaboration, not competition. gives credit generously, resolves tension with empathy. Not ego builds trust through transparency. They become the glue, the quiet force that keeps everything aligned, even when things get tough. Motivation. Through emotional insight. Great leader doesn't push, they pull. They understand what truly motivates people. Appreciation, purpose, growth. Belonging. Emotionally intelligent leaders create environments where people want to give their best because they feel respected, inspired, and part of something meaningful. Handling conflict. Like a pro-conflict is natural, but how you handle it. That's where emotional intelligence shines. The emotionally intelligent leader listens before judging, focuses on the problem, not the person, stays calm when others can't. Looks for win-win outcomes. They don't escalate, they elevate the sea. Conversation. Feedback that builds, not breaks. Feedback is necessary, but it can harm or help depending on delivery. Try this emotionally intelligent approach. Be specific and kind. Focus on behavior, not personality. Invite dialogue, not defense. Acknowledge strengths along with areas to grow. People remember how you made them feel, not just what you said. Creating a culture of emotional safety. Emotionally intelligent leaders cultivate psychological safety, a space where people can speak freely, share ideas, admit mistakes, ask for help. When people feel safe, creativity rises, loyalty deepens, collaboration flourishes. This isn't just good for morale, it's smart business. The legacy of emotionally intelligent leadership. You don't have to have all the answers. You just need to lead with heart. When you bring emotional intelligence into your leadership and teamwork, you don't just build stronger outcomes. You build stronger people, and that is a legacy worth leaving. Conclusion. The journey inward. That changes everything, so here we are. You've taken a journey through self-awareness, empathy, social mastery, emotional control, leadership, and deeper connection. You've seen how mastering emotional intelligence and social skills isn't just about becoming better. It's about becoming you, fully, confidently, and powerfully. What you've gained. Let's reflect on the powerful tools now in your hands. You've learned to name and navigate your emotions instead of reacting blindly. You've practiced empathy, the glue that holds human connection together. You've refined communication with clarity, presence, and care. You've understood how self-regulation creates strength, not suppression. You've discovered how social skills build bonds, influence, and respect, and you've explored how leadership grows from emotional depth, not domination. This isn't theory. This is your new foundation. A final word. You can't control the world. You can't avoid emotion. You can't please everyone. But you can control how you show up. You can grow from every experience. You can build a life full of connection, clarity, and confidence. Emotional intelligence isn't a destination. It's a lifelong dance with yourself and with others. And with every step, you'll become more grounded, more gracious, more powerful. So keep learning, keep listening, keep showing up with compassion and courage. Because the more emotionally intelligent you become, the more everything changes, and it starts with you. Thank you for listening to How to Master Emotional Intelligence and Social Skills. May this journey continue to guide you, inspire you, and elevate every connection you create. Whenever you're ready, rewind, reflect, or rise. The best version of you is always just one breath, one pause, one kind word away.